people, welcome back to my channel. Here is Ray. So if you're new here, welcome. I love you already. And if you've been following me for a while, thank you so much for following. And welcome back. I love you too. Have you ever noticed that everything suddenly feels hard? Like problems just keep coming and nothing seems to go on your way. Maybe before you can handle things pretty easily or you felt lucky. But now it's like one after another and nothing feels easy anymore. Here's the thing. It's not because you've suddenly got unlucky or you're going through some karma. More often, it might be because you're now going through a period of change. That change could be big and obvious, like moving to a new city, starting a new job, or starting a new relationship, or ending an old relationship, like going through a divorce or a breakup. It could also be not that obvious. But anyway, it marks a new stage in your life that feels different from before. In psychology, we actually have a name for it. This is called the adjustment period. So if you just had a big change in your life, or maybe you just felt that everything is harder than it used to be, this video is totally for you. And even if you can't name a specific change, but you just feel like life has gotten heavier or problem solving is harder than before, I'm going to share 6 psychology hacks to help you get through this hard mode. Alright, in the next minute, let me first explain what is this adjustment period. An adjustment period is basically the time your mind and body need to settle in a period of change. That is a phase where everything feels strange or harder than it used to, and you don't quite feel like yourself. Psychologists even have a very classy model for this. That is the U-curved model. It says when you step into a new situation, you usually start off excited and dip down into a stage of frustration or low mood, and then you will climb back as you adjust. Pretty much anyone facing a change in life. For example, international students in a new city, immigrants or people moving to a new country, anyone relocating to a different place, different city, or starting a new job, and of course, people going through breakups, divorce, or major life transitions. So, from a psychological perspective, why everything feels so hard? First, you will lose a lot of the no's. The thing that you used to know before, like your familiar places, your friends, your families, your routines, even the little unwritten rules you've never really had to think about. Second, you have to learn so many new basics, like how to get around, where to shop, and how people talk, what's considered as a normal behavior. And third, you are now further away from your usual supports, your parents, your friends, neighbors. Back then, they made feel like life is easier because they're there to support you and they're able to carry away some of your stress. But now you're physically and emotionally away from them. So it's very normal that it's harder for you to get support. And finally, there is no user manual for the new situation. You don't have a guidebook of all the hidden rules, so you will need to end up figuring them out all by yourself. Sometimes you might even have to face some financial consequences, but believe me, you will get through it. So, how do you know if you are or you're not in an adjustment period? Here are a few signs you can look for. First, you might feel lonelier than usual, or you find yourself missing your family or friends way more than you used to be. Little things that normally wouldn't bother you suddenly get on your nerves. You might lose sleep or appetite. Even simple tasks feel like you have to put in extra efforts. They're not as easy as they used to be. Your moods are having heavy up and downs. You feel good when something goes smooth, but crash pretty hard when it doesn't. You start doubting yourself or being harder on yourself. Like you start to blame yourself. Why can't you just handle this like you used to? And sometimes you just feel this weird sense of pressure or urgency, even if it doesn't totally make sense. So now, if you notice a few of these, like not all of them, but a few, and they stick around for a while, chances are you're in that dip of that adjustment curve. When life changes, people often tell us to, stay positive, make new friends, and adapt to your new environments. And sure, these advices are very useful and they sound simple, but in reality, it's actually super hard to do. Where can I easily get a new friend? And it usually would take a long time before you actually see the results. That's why today I want to share 6 very useful psychology tricks that are much easier. And they are things that you can do on your own. Like you don't have to face very complicated interactions, so you don't have to make new friends for this. Are you ready? Let's go. So let me ask you, how familiar are you with the environment around you? When you just move to somewhere new or when you're in this period of change and you kind of feel lonely or down or stressed, try this. Open your map and start exploring the streets around you. Learn their names. Notice how they look. If you have time, go and have a small walk. Put on some music and pay attention to where the restaurants are, where the grocery stores. Think of it like whenever you're in a video game and as you navigate through the map, you're lighting up those new areas. The psychology behind this is that this stress or this emptiness or anxiety that you're feeling right now is actually because you're not grounded, like you're losing control because you're not familiar with this new thing, this new change, this new place. So the more you know your area, the safer and more in control you feel. And psychology says that this perceived control is huge for reducing stress and anxiety. Find one little corner that calms you. Maybe it's a park bench or a balcony or a cafe. When you feel stressed, go there, even for 5 or 10 minutes. Breathe, look at the tree, look at the sky, drink something warm. Psychologists sometimes call this a safe haven. That is a place linked with calmness, so it helps you reset. This one is from behavioral activation, and it is used a lot in clinical psychology. This idea is give yourself some tiny, super small, super easy goals that are just for you, not work. Like visiting one new cafe, or write down 3 sentences, or stretching for 5 minutes, or doing 5 minutes yoga. Since they're tiny, they're super easy to be completed. And every time you're done with one, that is a small win for you. And each small win will give you confidence because you're actually giving yourself a hint. Yes, I can still make progress. This one is very useful for myself. When life feels hard, it's usually because your order got scrambled. Because you just moved from a familiar place to a new one, or you just have started a new period of life. So for sure, the order that you used to have does not exist anymore. So rebuild your own order. Decide what matters most to you, like health, family, work, money, friends, and put them into a pyramid. This way, you will know how to divide your 24 hours. Because whether we want it or not, we only have 24 hours a day, and that is very precious. So make sure you're giving more time to your top priorities. This keeps you from feeling like you're losing at life, and it can help you see that you're actually moving forward in the things that matter to you. For example, if you're again feeling tired and stressed and empty, check if you have already spent enough time for the top 1 priority. If not, then do it. If you already did pretty well, then you don't need to blame yourself. Rituals are very powerful. Research shows that they can help lower our anxiety and improve mood performance. Even if they're small, they're tiny, it doesn't matter. It could be changing into a very comfy clothes like your pajamas, taking a hot shower to wash off the day, or doing a 2-minute stretch at the same time every night. The thing is, you have to keep them into your routine to make it like a ritual. And this little simple thing is something that you will feel like an anchor. You will feel like control in your day. And through this ritual, you can tell yourself, okay, I am now done with work. I can relax now. And finally, give yourself something that you have to do weekly, no matter what. It could be a Saturday grocery run, or a Sunday yoga in the park, or a Tuesday movie night, or even a regular video call with a family. This little bit of predictability gives your week structure. And research shows that routines can make us feel calmer and more stable. Because when you're in a new place, it for sure can feel super exciting, but also a little out of control. Routine acts like an anchor. It is that one thing you can count on, and it can help you feel more grounded. So, to sum up, if you suddenly feel like life is getting harder than before, it might be because you're now going through a period of change in your life. You're going through an adjustment period where something new happened or something is different from before, like you are just moving to a new city or country or even just into a new environment. And the good news is this is normal. A lot of us go through it, and there are concrete little things that you can do on your own. And one day, believe me, when you look back, you will realize how many challenges you've overcome, how many obstacles you've already passed. You made it very far. Alright, thank you for watching. Here is Ray, a therapist who loves to talk about everyday emotion. If you feel this helpful, don't forget to share and leave a comment if you have thoughts, tips, hacks, anything. If you like me, my video, or want to know more about psychology, hit like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next Friday.